One of the big developments at Altrincham Football Club in the last couple of years has been the introduction of the Academy, which has grown from strength to strength and been a real success. And today we're talking to Paul Fey, Academy Coach, and a first-year scholar from for this season, Tom Jones, and also a second-year scholar who's obviously in his second season, Ryan Forde. So first of all, Paul, tell us a little bit about the history of the Academy, why it was set up, and what's happened to date.
Well, basically, it was set up to try and, I think, Phil and Neil, the last time they got the new contract, they wanted to put this in place to try and develop our own players. We've always done it with the youth teams over the years, but obviously now they've looked at to get into the full-time stuff with the Academy boys, so we're getting contact with them obviously every day of the week, and it was to basically develop our own ones to come through.
And first season interrupted by COVID, as everything was, so that was a difficult season, really. Yeah,
but it was start and stop, wasn't it? I think we played 3 league games, and then with just a lot of friendlies. I think we've done a lot of, I think 5 or 6 friendlies towards the end of March, April time. Basically never got going. We're on the pitch a good bit, but obviously January, February was basically wiped out with it, wasn't it? So so it's been this year's been a lot better. We're getting the contact time, we're getting the lads in, unless we're waterlogged off, but in general you can see that functioning now every day. It's good.
And games are played on a Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah, games are played Wednesday afternoon with the Academy. We've got 2 groups. We've got one in the AOC College League, and then we've got one in the National League H. And then obviously the lads are involved with the weekend stuff as well. We've got with Tom and Ryan today with the reserves, and then we've got our youth teams out, which has a lot of Academy boys playing on Sundays for us as well.
So it's quite a big operation. 2 teams put out every Wednesday in 2 different leagues, including the National League Under 19th Alliance Division H.
Yeah, I mean we're only 34 on the course, so sometimes we don't get injuries or sickness. Sometimes we're not able to field it, and obviously, but most weeks we do get the 2 teams out. So it's been hot. It's been tough this year, to get everyone basically playing, because we've had a lot of injuries throughout the season as well so far. So, but yeah, it's been good.
And things have been going well on the field, doing really well in the National League Under 19 Alliance Division H, towards the top of the table, and also a really good run in the National League Cup. Yeah,
the lads have been, I think you could probably count in one hand how many times we actually haven't been on it in some of the games, but in general across the board, they've been top notch this year. I think there's definitely the cup run, beating Hartlepool. I think until we played Chesterfield last week, every game was away. And even to get the last 8 of the National League Cup in our second year, it's a great achievement.
And in terms of the rest of the season, it's Stockport County, AFC Fylde, and Altrincham at the top of the table. So you're up against some good clubs there.
Yeah, Wrexham are in there as well, and I mean, as you say, FC United aren't far off it. So yeah, it's a tough league. There's some of the results in it. We went out and beat Eccleshill. I think was it 7-0? Was it with these boys playing? Beat them 7 or 8-0. And then the following week they just Stockport and beat them 2-1. So the league's a tough league. It's very up and down sometimes, but it's been good. The lads, as I say, I think out of the 34 we have on the course, there's been 29 of them have all played National League as well so far.
Let's talk to Tom Jones now. Tom, you've been with the club a long time. You started as a 7 or 8 year old, so you're an experienced player.
Yeah, it started off at under 8s. I remember it was the Scorpions team, and then met Paul and Sarah at 10, met at a tournament game, and then from there I've just been playing more a year above, playing with development squad, everything like that. It's been good, yeah.
And when you're in the juniors set up, and then you get to 16 and you're sort of looking towards to progress, and obviously a lot of players don't progress, so you've done really well to sort of progress to the next level.
No, yeah, I think it's all got to do with the coaching and everything like that. So, it helped me improve a lot, all the coaching and everything, and.
And you're a first-year scholar. What's the experience been like at the Academy since you started in? I think it was September.
I've really enjoyed it. Really, I think everyone has. I think the first week everyone was getting used to things and everything, but since the first couple of games, I think everyone's improved heavily and everyone's bonded as a team and everything like that. It's great.
And it is going well on the pitch. The game against Chesterfield last Wednesday, really competitive game against a very good side, but very, very touch and go. In the end, we lost by 2 goals to 1 against, let's not say, very, very good team. So a little bit disappointing in the end, but I thought the lads really acquitted themselves well.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I think we started off quite well that game, but I think conditions just make
It was a horrible afternoon, was it?
Yeah.
You had a good chance in the first half. Hit the post.
Yeah, I did, but it was. I think I should have scored, to be honest. It was a hard angle, but got to score.
And you're involved for the reserves this afternoon. So to make it into the reserve squad and the team at your age is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's good. I really enjoyed it. That's my 3rd game now, so yeah, I appreciate Ross for inviting me and everything like that. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
So Paul, just coming back to Tom's been at the club for the best part of 10 years, so come right through from the grassroots and is progressing really well. And that's what it's all about, the player pathway and the progression.
Well, yeah, definitely. He's the one. I think we'll have 4 or 5, maybe 6 who have came through from the juniors. But I think Tom's probably the only one to come through from Saturday Soccer Club so far, which is brilliant. That's why we do it, isn't it? Well, that's why we're down. We have the many kickers in the hall now. We've got the Saturday Soccer Club at BTH, and that's what we want to do, is bring these lads through, and hopefully they come on to the academy for us. I mean, Tom's been a credit to himself. From we've had him, it doesn't matter if it's 10. He hasn't changed. He's always had a great attitude. Works hard. And takes a lot of the information on that the coaches are giving him. So he's getting these opportunities, obviously he's saying thanks to Ross, but he's getting the opportunities because of his performances. It's the same as Mr. Forde beside me. That's why they're getting these, because they are performing week in, week out. And I mean, Tom started on our development squad on a Sunday, and now he's up with the 18s because his performances have been at a good level this season so far.
And a really good example to an Alta junior who's 7, 8, 9, 10 years old now, can see what can happen, because we've seen it with Tom.
Massive. As I say, I mean, you've hit yourself, Ryan Morton. I don't know how many is it. Ryan Morton, I think Louis Morrison. I think there's maybe another 2 who have been up from the juniors who have came through and are playing reserves now, So the pathway is there. It's just the players then wanting to take the chance to come on to the academy, especially where we are. I mean, obviously a lot of them will want to stay on to A levels and stuff like that. But if we can get 4 or 5 coming through from our juniors on a regular basis, that's successful. So it is.
Okay, let's talk to Ryan Forde now. Ryan, you're a second year in the academy, so a little bit more experienced. And at 16, you were in the under-18 teams. You played in the really successful FA Youth Cup run last season. We played City of Liverpool, South Shields, Eccleshill United, and ultimately went out pretty unfortunately against Peterborough United. For a 16-year-old, that was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I was nervous at the start when I first got called up. Then my first game against Liverpool, I think we won 2-0. I think that was my debut for the youth team, and I think I got man of the match as well at the end of the game. And then I think it was South Shields next. They went to pens, and then I think I saved 1. And then Matty Summoner come up and scored a winning pen, and we all went celebrating in the corner. And then after that, I think we went to Eccleshill. The pitch was awful and the conditions was awful, and then what was it? I think we went 2-0 up. I came off injured. My ankle went over on it in the first half. Then the second half I came out for a 1-on-1. I think the guy stamped on my ankle. I came off, and then I think Archie went in net for the rest of the game, and Luigi scored a really good free kick in the end. And then I think ended 3-1. And then I think the last round was Peterborough. It was a close game. I think they dominated the first half. I think they scored a pen to go 1-0 up, and then after that, I went 2-0. I think we scored in about the 50th minute. And then they scored again to make it 2-1. We scored a goal in the last minute, but then it got ruled out offside, and then it all came to an end.
You mentioned there Luigi Mong, and he's progressed now, gone over to the US, which is great for him.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I think we've had a few people coming to our lessons talk about America, and a few people want to go over there, and I can't remember. I think there's a few of us who want to go over still. But I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if I'll go to that.
And by the end of last season, you progressed to Altrincham reserves for a 16-year-old. That's a fantastic achievement.
Played my debut against Broad Central. I think it ended 1-1. I And then after that, I think Joe Torrance stepped in for a bit, played the rest of the cup. They got to the final to Edgerton, got beat 3-1, I think. And then started to go back into the youth team. And then the next season, I've really come into the reserves a lot. Ross has trusted me. We've got to the semi-final today of a cup, playing against Sale Amateurs. And I think we're having a good league run as well. I think we've only lost 2 games in the last... one game in the last 7. And it's been good so far. The team's starting to bond. We've had a few first-team lads come in. We've had like Kenner, Dieng, Andy White, and Densmore come in and help us out a lot as well.
And you've had 2 loan spells this season as well, so that's a great experience for you. One at Avro and one at Colne.
Yeah, I played the whole pre-season with Avros, played against Island Man. Llandudno. But played against Radcliffe, they're I think a few leagues higher. And played a cup game against Radcliffe again in one of the big cups that they play in, and I think we won 5-3, and I played really well in that. And then at Colne, I was able to work with Chris Kirkland, the next Liverpool coach, and I got a lot of experience there. Played against Trafford in my first, where a few of the first team players are out. I think Curtis is out on loan there, and Sean as well. I think we won 1-0 in that game, and I got a clean sheet in my debut. Then we played against Clitheroe in the second game, played in front of 1,600 fans, which was big. My nerves were everywhere. I was quite nervous that game, and I think we got beat 5-1. Then after that, the managers left. They got a new manager. I can't remember who the new manager was now, I think.
But to play in the Northern Premier League in front of nearly 1,700 fans on a sort of big Christmas derby against Clitheroe, that must have been a tremendous experience for you.
Yeah, it was. In front of all the fans, I was getting a lot of stick behind the fans in the away end as well. Started calling me lots of names, but I kept ignoring them. I just went with my game and made a few good saves in that game. And then my last game for them was against Kendall. I think we got beat 1-0. We conceded in like the 89th minute. Thought I was going to get another clean sheet, but it all came to an end then. And then I've come back to the reserves, settled in there again, started winning a lot of games with them.
And as well as playing for the reserves, you're training regularly with the first team as well now?
Yeah, I am. I go there every Thursday. I can't really make Tuesdays because it's out of the academy. It's good to have the experience with Matty Gold, who's played for New Zealand. Well, I've been with New Zealand now, and Tomo, he's great. They've taught me a lot. Stephen Drench has come in as well, and he's taught me a lot. And it's just good working around there in the Gaffers environment. And Neil, working with Neil in the academy as well, see what it's like with the first team. It's good.
Okay, thanks very much, Ryan. So, Paul, just finally to finish with you. Ryan, another really good example of making great progress over 2 seasons.
Yeah, massive. As I said, I'll go back to it again. People will say about coaching and different bits and pieces, but it's down to the lads themselves. I mean, we'll give them the different, what they need, the tools, what they need. It's down to them to carry it on and take that instruction on. I mean, I think, as I said earlier on, Ryan Morton, Joel Trevor, Nathan Wall, Owen German, Hugh McGee, Amar Hussein, Jaden Matthews, Joe Cooney, are all playing up in the reserve. Have all played reserve football this year. You know, we've had Tom's. I think Tom was only 17 last week. He was 16 playing the reserves. Same as Hugh McGee, same as Owen German. So if there doesn't matter what age. I've said this to you many times. You've heard me many times saying this. It doesn't matter what age they are. If we think they're good enough at 16 or 15, we'll put them in around that environment. So it is. So, but as I say, it's going well. Now with Ross and Welch in there, they're happy enough to put the lads in. I mean, over the years, sometimes it came to the age, and some of the coaches and all the reserves were a bit standoffish with it. But now it's, listen, let's pop them in, see how they get on. And obviously now, like some Morgan Chilton, who's just went out on loan to Eccles Hall, is it? Yeah, Niall Bouchard's down there, so we're getting the players out into the next step then, so we are. So when we think they're ready, we're just, if the clubs are right for them, we'll get them out then, and that'll be the next part to work on. And
looking ahead, we're now recruiting for season 3.
Yeah, already gone. I think we had 65 in last Monday. So we're probably about 30 of them coming back in. We'll run another trial at Easter. Hopefully we'll do a little presentation in the club and show them what their day-to-day stuff will be looking like, what more about the education side, and then we'll do the other trial at BTH. I think it's Thursday the 21st, of April.
So thank you. That's Paul Fey, Academy Coach, talking about the development and success of the Altrincham Football Club Academy, and also 2 of the individual success stories. Tom Jones, who's come right through from the age of 7 or 8 into the academy and now playing in the reserves, and Ryan Forde, who's progressed from the under-18s and from the successful FA Youth Cup team from last season into the reserves, and is training with the first team squad.